All right, let's start with the big story that we are tracking on Beyond this hour, where the Jinnah House in Mumbai is all set to be converted into a convention centre. Now, the control of the disputed property has been placed under the Ministry of External Affairs, and the Foreign Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj has said that the premises would be developed along the lines of the Hyderabad House in New Delhi. It will be renovated and refurbished into a cultural centre, which will be used to host international delegations. Meanwhile, Pakistan has, of course, raised objections to the move. The spokesperson of Pakistani Ministry of Foreign Affairs has said that Pakistan does not accept India's claims over the property. Now, the property has been a bone of contention between India and Pakistan since the time of the partition. Known for its Italian marble and wood panelling, the bungalow was owned by the Muslim League chairman Muhammad Ali Jinnah. The property has been under the control of the Indian government since Jinnah moved to the country that he helped create. It was labelled an evacuee property after the partition, and all properties of those who migrated to Pakistan after partition had been taken over by the Indian government, including Jinnah's house. In 1948, it was leased to the British High Commission in India, which occupied it until 1982. Now, the property has remained locked ever since, and in the year 2001, Jinnah's daughter Dina Wadia had written to the then Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee demanding that the house be returned to her. The Pakistani government also demanded that the house should be returned to the country so that they could actually convert it into a consulate. But the government has decided to keep the property under its control. All right, now for more on this, we are joined in by my colleague Anas Malik. Good afternoon to you, Anas. Now, this is a decision by the Indian government where they've said that, look, the house of Muhammad Ali Jinnah that he had before the creation of Pakistan will be converted into some sort of a convention and a cultural centre. How is this likely to go down in Pakistan?
Well, yes, Saleh, the Pakistani Ministry of Foreign Affairs has formally reacted to the reports of Indian side saying that they would like to convert Jinnah House into a convention centre. And now the Pakistani Ministry of Foreign Affairs spokesperson Dr. Mohammad Faisal, in his weekly briefing, he said that the claim of Jinnah House is ours. It rightfully belongs to Pakistan, and that India had admitted to this claim as well. India had agreed to this Pakistani claim, and that any move to take this claim away from Pakistan, to take the possession of Jinnah House away from Pakistan, will be opposed, and we do not accept. This is what the Pakistani Ministry of Foreign Affairs spokesperson has said. Now, diplomatic sources tell beyond that in continuation to this, the Pakistani side is likely to raise this matter with the Indian government as well. There's likely that a note will be sent, or a letter of inquiry will be sent to the Indian High Commission in Islamabad from the Pakistani Ministry of Foreign Affairs. In addition to this, the Pakistani side is also likely to maintain that since Pakistan has protected the properties of the Indian government, those properties that have been claimed by the Indian government that are of religious importance to them or of historical importance to the Indian government, therefore keeping in mind the shared history and the fact the importance of Jinnah to Pakistan, Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah to Pakistan, therefore the position of this house should be given to the Pakistani government. Yes, Saleh.
But there seems to be a bit of a contradiction here, Anas, because the Pakistani government has been demanding that, this house should in fact be handed over to the Pakistani government so that they can have a consulate. Instead, the Indian government has decided that this will now be a Ministry of External Affairs property, and it will be turned into an international cultural centre. Why would Pakistan not be happy in fact, getting the Jinnah's house converted into a cultural centre which would be open for all?
Well, the Pakistani side here says that he believes that according to that 2004 informal negotiations between Pakistan and India, when Pakistan and India both had informally agreed to restore their consulates in Bombay and Karachi respectively, and since this property was admitted by the Indian side, or they had agreed that this belongs to the Pakistani side, therefore it is Pakistani government's prerogative whether or not it should be converted to any, whether it should be the consulate or any international cultural center. And that, for that matter, the Pakistani side has been maintaining that the Government of India property that is off Abdullah Harun Road in Karachi, that was previously the consulate of India in Karachi as well, the very first consulate of India in Karachi that was operational since 1960s. The ownership of that property still remains intact to the Indian government. The Pakistani government has never made claim to that. Therefore, it should remain the prerogative of the Pakistani government, of the Pakistani establishment, that whether or not what would be the fate of Jinnah House. If Pakistan wants to convert it into a consulate, it should be done however the Pakistani side wants it. And in response, in defense, they're giving the argument that they are protecting the Indian government properties as well in Pakistan. Yes, Saleh.
Absolutely, indeed. Thank you very much indeed, Anas Malik, for joining us and getting those latest updates. This is one of those last remaining bone of contentions between India and Pakistan, and it's difficult to actually arrive at a conclusion. It's a 2.5-acre large property that had been built at a cost of almost about 200,000 rupees way back in the year 1936. And the Indian government has now decided that it will be turned into an international convention centre, much on the lines of the Hyderabad House in New Delhi.